Some time ago, someone said, can I give a tour of the books in my library? So this is the plan. I'm going to go to these bookcases, read the titles of every book on the shelves, then go to the bookcase in my room, read all the book titles, and then I'm going to go to the books on these tables and give you detailed information on those. That's how I plan to do it. So let's get started. You know what I mean? All right, so we're going to start with this one on the right. We got at the top some biblical Hebrew vocabulary cards. That doesn't count because it's not a book, but we do have this very small book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a book about investing and stuff like that. It's got some, it had one thing that stood out to me. Then we got Bibles and etc. and some dictionaries. So we have, I'll just point out the two that's the same. We have two 1611 King James versions with the Apocryphas. One is really, really old looking because it was my first one and it's coming apart. And that's a newer one. I have one more somewhere. I don't know where it is right now, but it's somewhere. So I have three total because it used to be my main Bible. It's not anymore. So next to that, we have two basic King James versions. Well, they both paperback. Next to that, we have this small book somebody gave me as a gift. I've never read. It says The Gospel of John, Bread of Life. And then we have next to that, the Concordance of the Septuagint. We got the Bible Trivia book. Now we got some dictionaries. We got the New Combined Bible Dictionary and Concordance, about 10,000 definitions, I estimate. Then we got the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, about 5,000 definitions. Then we got the Latin English Dictionary. This is when translating comes in handy. But then we got the NIV Pocket Bible. Then we got the Satanic Bible. The reason I got that is because I got tired of going online to try to find the part that says the highest of all holidays is your birthday and stuff in that category. So I got that, so I don't have to go online for that no more. The next one is this book that says 21 alleged mistakes in the King James Bible. I went through it a little bit, but I don't go through it a lot. This one is a big paperback of the 1611 King James Version, basically. It has the Apocrypha, so it's pretty much this, but it ain't hardcover. That's what it is to me. And this one is just a basic King James Bible. It's paperback. Nothing special about that. And this right here is the Arabic alphabet. And this is a Hebrew book that can help you learn Hebrew or stuff in that category. I don't look into it anymore. The next shelf, we got some Bibles. They are Bibles. They are Bibles. So we'll start from left to right. So this book right here, the words that's peeling off of it is the Septuagint with the Apocrypha Greek and English. And the next one is the 5th edition of the New Oxford Annotated Bible with the Apocrypha. That's my main Bible now. I have 3 of those. So you'll probably see 2 more. Actually, I have 4 of them now. I have 3. That's the 5th edition and 1 that's the 4th edition. But you're going to see 3 more that look just like that as, the video keeps going. Then the book that's right next to it is the Catholic Study Bible. They have 73 books. They have half of the Apocrypha and the Old and New Testament. And the New Jerusalem Bible is just like it, but it's just slight differences. But they really are alike. And then in the middle, you got the Orthodox Study Bible. I can't remember why I got it. I think it might be based off of the Septuagint or something like that. But hey, that's there. Maybe one day I'll actually read more of it. Then these 3 on the right, we have all Geneva Bibles. 2 are $15.99 Geneva Bibles. One is the Patriarch's edition. That one, right there. Then this one, the Luther's edition, right there. Then you got the 1560, right there. You know what I mean? The 1560 is the only one that has the Apocrypha. The other 2 don't. But they're all different. Then down here, we got some history books and Bibles and Dead Sea Scrolls and all kind of stuff down here. So let's check it out. So on the far left, we got all the women of the Bible, or all of the women of the Bible. It's a lot of books like that. Then we got the Encyclopedia of World Religions and Cults and Occults, you know. Next to that, we got the Dead Sea Scrolls Uncovered. I got 2 of those books. And then next to that are 2 books that I probably have never really tried to read, but they're here. They was given to me by my mom. So one of them says, if I can even say this properly, okay, yeah, spiritual. It just looks really different. Spiritual Cancer Soul, something like that. I'm gonna probably trade that in or something. I gotta get rid of it. This one says the Spiritual Warrior's Prayer Guide. That might be beneficial, but I never use it. Then next to that, we have the Eusebius Ecclesiastical History. I don't even look into that. Then next to that, we just got a basic King James Version. Is it hardcover? No, it's like imitation leather. Then we got next to that the NIV, the Teen Study Bible. I'm gonna sit down because I'm like kneeling down. It's uncomfortable. Next to this is some crap that I bought. I thought it was the Samaritan Pentateuch, but it's not. It's just some BS. Then this book, I thought it was okay, but it's called When Christians Get It Wrong. Next to that is a book by Bart D. Ehrman called Misquoting Jesus. I really haven't read much of it. Can't tell you what it's about. Don't care to. Then you got the Ebionites. I don't even think I like it, but I can't even remember what the book is about and if it's the actually official book or just somebody commentating on their thoughts and opinions on reading the official book. But the next one is the Gospel of the Nazarenes. Then we got church history. We got Haley's Bible Handbook. And then we got the Annals of Imperial Rome. That book has Jesus in it from like the Romans' perspective, like the soldiers from what I was looking into, which is good because you get to see the history that even people that wasn't like believers in Jesus or the biblical spiritual people stated that Jesus lived. So that's why I got that. Next one is Popular History of the Jews, A History of the Jews, The Bible as History. We got that too. The 2 at the bottom is just Hebrew English Bibles, Old Testament only. And on this over here, this book at the top is a Hebrew English dictionary, probably over 46,000 entries. So yeah, we got a lot, you know what I mean? All right, so we got more dictionaries. All right, I even got my DMV over here, which I never look into. What is this? Oh, all natural herbal remedies. Man, I might have to check that out. So we got the Davis Dynasty. That's an investing book. I only read a little bit of that. Excuse me, trust me. You don't have to read this to become successful at investing. I'm just telling you that right now. And then the next one we got is a thesaurus. I got that recently. And then we have a Illustrated Wonders and Discoveries of the Bible. And I like what's in it because I'm a nerd. And then we got the New Strong's Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible. This is one of my oldest books. It's coming apart, but I still use it. So these are just basic dictionaries, all paperback. And let's see, we got Harper's Bible Commentary. You can hardly see it, but that's what that is. And then you have the G.C. Knight's Hebrew Grammar book. Some people don't even know that that's a thing, Hebrew grammar, but it is. Then we got the Webster's All-in-One Dictionary and Thesaurus. And then the last book, we have a dictionary, Early Christian Beliefs of Early Christian Beliefs. Now, lower than that, we're getting into the biblical, spiritual a little bit more. So we got Josephus. We got 2 of them. And then we got the works of Philo. They're both historians, but most people know Josephus, and they don't talk about Philo, but Philo is one too. And they both lived around the time of Christ, so that's interesting. Now, this book we have, it says who's who in the Bible. Then we got the Gospel of Thomas in between that. And then we got the complete Dead Sea Scrolls in English. James, the brother of Jesus. We got ancient testaments of the patriarchs. We got the many Gospels of Jesus, a harmony of the Gospels. The Nag Hammadi Library, I have 2 of those, so you'll probably see another one soon. But that one's hardcover. The one I formerly had, well, still have, sorry, is paperback, my main one. Then we have the parallel, can we get that clearer? The parallel Apocrypha. It has 7 different texts in it. It even has the Greek and the Latin of the original sources. You gotta love it. You just gotta love it. Then we got another Dead Sea Scrolls uncovered. Then we got, is this the Acts of Peter? Yeah, this is the, I think they call it something different right here. It says containing the recognition of Clement or the travels of Peter. So that, then we got the Didache, aka the teaching of the 12 apostles, with the Greek text. So you can read the Greek too if you want to verify they translated it right. Down here we have a lot more. We got the Noble Quran. I think that's an Arabic and English. If not, it's just a Quran. I can't remember. This one is called Reclaiming the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's got some information about that inside. This is a small book of Jubilees by itself. Next to that, we got the 5 books of Maccabees in English, because Maccabees has 5 that survived. It was 8, but 3 was lost. Some were burnt in the fire. Then this book is called a full collation of the Codex Sinaiticus with the received text of the New Testament. And this is not in English. It's in Greek. It's a different manuscript of the New Testament. One of the earliest ones that we got. Next to that, it's a small book called Patriarchs and Prophets. Next to that is another Quran. Next to that is another Quran. Every Man's Talmud. Then we got the Lost Religion of Jesus. Next to that is another Quran. This is the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, Pearl of Great Price. I got this because I wanted to read the Book of Abraham that was in it. I didn't really care about anything else in it. The Epic of Gilgamesh. This is the Hebrew medieval text of the Book of Jasher right here. You can't see it that well, but that's what it is. Not a lot of people have that, but it's out there. It's out there. In between it is the King James, his Bible, and its translations. Somebody got that for me a long time ago. In the middle is the Clementine Homilies, and right beside that is Bible Atlas, a smaller version, and at the end right here is a bigger version. Man, sometimes I'll be wanting to see the maps, you know? So then it says, right here we got the New Hebrew, and this is good for learning Hebrew vowels and stuff like that. Like I had to start learning the vowels and stuff like that, but I stopped. And next to that, this book says Discovering the Biblical World in the Bible Almanac. And at the bottom, it's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. So we got some dictionaries, concordances, and food and garden books and biblical books. So we got my main dictionary, hardcover, Merriam-Webster's Dictionary, 11th edition. I can't even remember how many words is in it, but it's a lot. Then we have the Peshitta New Testament under that. And we have a concordance, but it's different. It's a little different. There's no strong numbers in that. And then we have another concordance. It says concordance to the Greek Testament. And so I think this one's Old Testament, this one's New Testament. Yeah, different. Then we got 1001 hints and tips for your garden. And then I have a book about cooking, for vegetarian meals, because you know I don't eat meat. If you don't, now you know. So then we got this book by T.I. Bursloff, which claims to have some of the legit missing books of the Bible. It's called The Book of Nathan, the Book of Gad, the Prophet. Did I say that properly? The Book of Nathan, the Prophet, Gad, the Seer, Jehu, Shemaiah, Idu, and others, all in one. I wouldn't recommend it. The next book is the complete. It calls itself the Complete Apocrypha with Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilees. False advertisement. It only comes with 3 books. It just comes with Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilees. So these are the final bookcases. We have 2 in my room, one on the left, one on the right. And it's not that many books in here, but we'll knock them out. So I already told you about the main Bible I use now. That's just another one. And this is a word study Greek, English, New Testament. These 3 books are all Greek dictionaries. One says the New Analytical Greek Lexicon, coded with strong numbers. This one's Thayer's Greek English Lexicon of the New Testament, coded with strong numbers. The Englishman's Greek Concordance of the New Testament, coded with strong numbers. I don't like the Englishman's that much from my memory. These 3 books at the bottom, I'm going to go into depth when I get to the table, but basically we have Hebrew, English, and Greek, and Paleo-Hebrew interlinear Bibles. That's what these 3 are of the Old and New Testament. So over here we have Modern English Greek and English Greek dictionary, and we have today's parallel Greek English New Testament. And we also have, this is just a dictionary, Greek dictionary, and this one's the New Greek English Interlinear New Testament. Over here we have a manual grammar of the Greek New Testament, and this is another Greek New Testament, but the Nestle Allen text, because it's a lot of different manuscripts and texts of the New Testament. Over here we have the Analytical Hebrew and Chaldee Lexicon. Right here is another Bible. It's the Promise Contemporary English Version. This is one of the first ones I started reading that was in modern English, and I was addicted to it. This one's the Dead Sea Scrolls, a new translation. Here's a Apocrypha, the New Oxford Annotated Bible. I'm sorry, not Bible, but Apocrypha, 4th edition. It's a better one than the just small red KJV Apocrypha. If you want to study Apocrypha with some cross references and things like that, get that one. Another Dead Sea Scrolls in English. Wow, I got 3. I didn't know I had 3. Okay. Then this book I actually don't go into, but it's the Chronological Gospels. This book is Demonology of King James. And here's my third 1611 with the Apocrypha King James Version. This is the Clear Quran. It's one of the best ones that I've read. Let's see. I haven't read the whole thing though, but then this is just a Thayer's Greek English Lexicon of the New Testament without strong numbers. Down here we have concordances and things like that. So we have the NRSV Exhaustive Concordance, including the Apocrypha and Deuterocanonical books. But there's no Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic dictionaries in the back. This is the Strongest Strong's KJV version. So basically it's the strongest exhaustive concordance of the Bible. Over here we got Greek and English Interlinear New Testament. And we have the Illustrated Bible Life and Times. That big book was only $1. This one is Fascinating Bible Facts, People, Places, and Events. Yeah, I like those. So that's it for the bookcases. Now I got to get to the tables. Let's go. So I forgot about the books under my nightstand. So here's one. This one's called The Complete Hebrew Greek Bible. And it doesn't have much English in it. It's just Hebrew and English of the Old and New Testament. And up here we have the Zondervan Parallel New Testament Greek and English. And this is the JPS Hebrew English Tanakh. So it's basically just the Old Testament, English and Hebrew. And there's another one of my main Bibles. So we all need to see that. Alright, yeah, we're ready. Okay, so we're going to do this table of all these books and get some detailed information. And then we'll do that one. Alright, so over here, we got maybe about 15, 20 books, I don't know. So we got the Complete Apocrypha, all 50 lost books of the Bible. And it really does have a lot of books in there for a small paperback. Alright, so right here, we got 8,000 differences between the NT Greek words of the King James Bible and modern versions. This is good to have so you can see what happened between the new 2011 NIV, where they took some of the verses out of the Bible and people was calling it satanic, which I believed, but later on found out it's just due to different manuscripts and their variations, and some omitting this and some having this and not having that, and etc. It shows you all that. And then you compare it and see, So this one is the Apostolic Bible, Greek, English, Interlinear, and they do call it polyglot. I skipped it this time. And this one's not paperback, but it has the Septuagint of the Old Testament, and it's interlinear style, English, Greek, strong numbers, and it also has its own dictionary in the back. It does not have the Apocrypha, though. Maybe one day he'll get to it, but it has the Old and New Testament, all Greek and English, interlinear with strong numbers. And it even has a brief dictionary in the back, so you can just go in the back and look at some of the definitions. Up top, we have another Dead Sea Scrolls uncovered. And this one's unique because when you look in it, depending on which one you got, the pictures of the cave that they found these things in will be in there. And you will also see that they also put the Hebrew right in there. So you can, if you want to verify they translated it right, you can translate it yourself. And they also have pictures of the manuscripts in there too, I believe. I think, yeah, they also have the manuscripts in there as well if you want to see what the actual manuscripts look like. That's unique. Not a lot of Dead Sea Scrolls books do that. All right. So next we got the Archaeology Study Bible, ESV. I wanted this for a while. Finally got it. Rarely use it. But this is good if you want to see the things that they found in the biblical spiritual book, as we know as the Bible, the Old and New Testament. So it got pictures of like the mountains that they found, maps, artifacts, stones with like different languages written on them. It could be Hebrew, could be other languages. Yeah. I just think that's going to be good to read when I finally do get to read it one day. So this is the I was going to say but I was going to start with that part. So this is the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgart-Saya. What this is basically a Hebrew Bible of just the Old Testament. No English, if any English at all is in it. It's very little. And this is going by the Leningrad Codex because it's 8 different manuscripts of the Masoretic text, but they're going by the Leningrad Codex. This one's the Dead Sea Scrolls Bible. This one's different because it's not going by the Masoretic text that we used to of the Old Testament. It's only going by the Dead Sea Scrolls that they found of the Old Testament. So if it wasn't found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, like the Book of Esther, then it ain't gonna be in there. So just letting you know. And they also do have some additional books or scrolls, and one of them involves fighting demons. It was supposed to be 4 Psalms for fighting demons, but 3 was lost, and they have some of the recovered Psalms in there too. So it's interesting to see. And it's got some other stuff in it too, but hey, I guess it's worth having. That's paperback, by the way. They do have a hardcover, I think. Now we got the big old Sefer here. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but the Sefer is unique because it comes with one of the biggest collection of books. It has the Old Testament, New Testament, and the Apocrypha, and it has Enoch, Jasher, Jubilees. I think it goes 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 Maccabees, and 1 and 2 Baruch, I think. I'm not sure about that second Baruch part, but it does come with 5 additional Psalms that I don't know if any other Bible ever have done that. So instead of getting just Psalms to 150 or 151, you get Psalms up to 155, making that one of the uniquest Bibles that I've ever seen. Then you got the Messianic Olive Tav Interlinear Scriptures. This is the volume 1, just the Torah, and I have one of the New Testament so you can see each one. So this one's the Gospels, and this is the Torah. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside. These are very rare books and very expensive books. And as time went on, they got more expensive. So let's see the insides. Matter of fact, let's look at that real quick. So you get the Paleo and the Modern. Oh, right. So this is what it looks like on the inside. So this is Genesis 6. At the top, you'll see the Paleo. Then you'll see the Modern. Then you'll see a number next to it. Then you'll see how they will consider you to pronounce it according to the Hebrew they're using and the sound system they're using. Then you'll see the English under it, and it just goes like that all the way through. And then you got some info at the bottom. And let's see what the New Testament looks like. So the New Testament looks like this. So they have either Syriac, I think that's Syriac. So you got the Syriac at the top. Then you got, I suppose, how you would pronounce that right there. Then you got the Hebrew under it, that's a number. And then you got the English under it, and it follows that pattern. Oh, wait, you got the Greek too. You got the Greek under that. And then, oh, then you got some more numbers. Wow, interesting. There's a lot going on there. But that's how those go. Next, we got the Essene Gospel of Peace up top. 4-volume set, paperback, very good books, recommended. A lot of information in there. I can't explain it all in depth because I'll be talking for a while. But let's just say, out of everything out that I've shown y'all, that is one of the most important books that I've ever read. Whew. I won't talk about that much. But I'll say Jesus spoke a lot in that book, those books, and the wisdom that's coming from it, very important. Talks about fasting, baptism, how to eat, how much to eat, how much not to eat. A lot. The next book we got is this big interlinear Hebrew, Greek, English Bible, and it's just 1 volume. It has the Old Testament, New Testament, interlinear style, Hebrew English for the Old Testament, Greek English for the New Testament, with strong numbers. But the one thing that is the issue is it's very small. But since they had to jam so much in here, you gotta lean in just to see good. But if you can deal with it, you can deal with it for a while. I did deal with it, but after a while, I stopped using it. But it was good for a time. It's good for a time. Thank you, J.P. Green. I think he's dead now, the one that put that together or helped put that together. So at the top, we have the Israelite Samaritan version of Torah. And then we have the just Hebrew and, just the Hebrew version of it right there. So they're both the same. One just has English in it. The other doesn't. So basically, these two are the same, but this is the English version of it, and this is the Hebrew version of it. And basically what those are is you get the Samaritan Pentateuch, which is just a Torah, but from a different manuscript. And then you get the Masoretic text, and you get the comparison. And they highlight what was omitted, what is different from each of them. And it's of the Torah, if I'm not mistaken. You see it says versions compared, but yeah. Then this book I think I already showed. It says the Zondervan Parallel New Testament in Greek and English. I had this in my room, but this is what it looks like. So we have Mark 7. We have the King James Version in English on the left, NIV next to it. And then we have the Greek interlinear here of chapter 7. So we got the Greek. It's kind of small though. I gotta zoom in. Yeah, that's probably a bad thing for some people. So we got the Greek above it and the English under it. And that's it. That's it. That's what that's like. So it basically just shows you two English translations of it, and then you get the Greek. That's it. Oh, you get a little bit of notes at the bottom too. But and then it says verse 16 omitted by Nestle, and that's short for the Nestle Allen New Testament text because they have different. I already went over there. But anyway, then we got this big brown book right here. This one is the NIV Interlinear Hebrew Old Testament, 4 volumes in one. I'll just show you what it looks like. So it's just the Old Testament, and it's just a decent Hebrew English interlinear. No strong numbers, but that's it. That is it. So what's this right here? I think this is the whole Bible, Old and New Testament, just Hebrew English all throughout. No interlinear though, just Hebrew English. So you got 1 Kings, you got the English, then you got the Hebrew, and we got, trying to get to the New Testament for you. We got Luke, and we got the Hebrew for that too. So it's just the Old and New Testament, all one book, 1 volume, Hebrew English all the way through, which is rare. I finally got one. Now at the top we got the books of Enoch 1, 2, and 3. The first 2 are written in the same style. The third, the Hebrew book of Enoch is not by Enoch. It's by a rabbi named Rabbi Ishmael ben Elisha, something like that. Not written in the same style. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but the first 2 books of Enoch, yeah, I recommend those. That one's by Joseph B. Lumpkin. The first book of Enoch, it has a lot of cross references to the Bible already inside of it. So if you want to compare it, that would be the one to get. I don't know if any of the other books of Enoch do that, but that one does. That's one of the reasons I got it. Plus, it had all 3 of the books. And at the time, I thought it was worth it. I didn't know the 3rd book wasn't by Enoch until after. So, this book right here is a book that y'all probably seen in a lot of my videos. This is a GC Nice Hebrew English Lexicon. I won't really go too much into that, but this one doesn't have strong numbers, but it's a really good book. It's a book that I'm always in when I'm doing translations of the Bible. It's another good source to verify what words mean and etc. But we ain't gonna get too far into that. Now these last 4 books, I know it looks like 3. There's one under it, but it's 4. And come to find out, I don't even have all of them. I only have 4. I'm missing some. But you probably always have seen these, but I've never really talked about them that much. So what these 4 big books are, they are another manuscript of the Masoretic text that is out of the 8. Because remember I said it was 8. This is 1. And these have differences in certain places. They differ from the Masoretic text we used to, the Leningrad Codex, in certain places. And I had to get this because I was doing a study and I needed it. So it involves the Word of God, the word Lord in Hebrew, and things like that. So I was doing something in that category and I had to get it. And not a lot of people know this, but that's what this is. It's not a lot of English, if any English at all, in these. But this is what it looks like on the inside. So it's big, but you have the Hebrew, and you have Hebrew at the top and all around it. Now, what's all around it could be commentary. I'm not entirely sure, but that's that. And it looks like that probably all throughout. Yeah, it looks like that all throughout the book. Oh no, it changes here. So this one doesn't look like that, but it is no English. So if you don't know Hebrew, or if you're not trying to learn it, you're not gonna be able to read this. But you can learn it. Next table. These books are the last books. So this book is not my book. This is my mom's Bible. I'm gonna return it to her soon. I just did a review on that, the NRSV XL edition with the Apocrypha. If you want to check it out, you can look at my review. So these are the last books. Let's do it. So we got the Apostolic Fathers, second edition, translated by Who Cares? But these books, they have some good stuff in it, and I was reading one good book lately out of it. I keep it in my book bag until I finish it. That one, the Epistle of Diogenes. Gotta love it. It's got other books in here too, but that's the one that I'm currently reading. I recommend it. Now you got the Nag Comedy Library. This is the paperback. This is the first one I've had, and it's got over 50 books in here, lots of books. And if you want to know more information about what Jesus said and what the apostles did, and it's got stuff like that in there too. Interestingly though, these books were found 9 hours driving distance away from where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. Just 9 hours away driving distance. Man. Anyway, so now we have the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha, Volume 1 and Volume 2. This has over 60 books. It's a lot of books in here. And if you're a person that's open-minded and willing to read outside extra biblical and spiritual books, I definitely recommend it. I probably would never sell these books. That's how good they are. And this is one of the only collection of books that has cross-references to the Old and New Testament and Apocrypha and extra hidden in biblical spiritual books all in there. You don't got to do a lot of the work. They did it for you. Sometimes they don't have all the cross-references that you can think of, but they got a lot. So, and it's all hidden books too. It's no Old and New Testament books, just Apocrypha and hidden books. So, next we got the Lost Books of the Bible. Y'all probably have seen me go over these before. I won't really do too much of it right now, but it's over 20 books in here. And these are worth a read too. But of course, you got to be careful of some of the information that's in it. Can't trust everything, but a lot of beneficial stuff in it. And surprising stuff too. I will always read some of the books that's in that book. The Lost Scriptures, books that did not make it into the New Testament by Bart D. Ehrman. Man, it's a lot of books in here. I think it's like 43, but we'll just say over 40. I recommend it. And, man, I recommend you go to this website called abbooks.com and get a used version because it's like under $10 that way and like new condition. So these are some of the books that's in it. I'm still trying to read some of the books that I haven't read. I really recommend y'all read the Acts of John, the Acts of Paul, the Acts of Thomas, the Acts of Thecla, and Peter. Like, there's so many books in here that's good. It's just a great collection of books. I'm trying to keep this little cover on and keep falling out. But it's a lot of books in here. I wouldn't talk about them all, but it's just a lot of good stuff in there. So that book is worth it. Then we got the New Testament Apocrypha. If you want to know how the apostles died, there you go. You need to get that. It also has some of the same books that's in that. I'm currently reading some of the books in this too because it's got some beneficial information. If you want to know how the apostles lived and where they went to preach after Jesus was risen, some of that information is in here and in there. Beneficial to have. The Encyclopedia of Lost and Rejected Scriptures, the Pseudepigrapha and Apocrypha by Joseph B. Lumpkin. This is back in my possession. But I don't know how many books is in here. I think over 40, but I'm not entirely sure. But here's some of the books that's in here. I'll give you guys a look. And I have a check next to the books that I've read, I believe. So it does have the basic Apocrypha as well. Okay, y'all, we made it to the end of the video. Very long video. I didn't know it was going to be this long, but it's over. So the only books that you didn't get to see is 3 books that I don't have in my home right now. One book I just lent out called the Kabbalah. The other book is, a smaller version of my main Bible, which is the NRSV, Old and New Testament with the Apocrypha. It's a compact, thin line Bible that I keep in my car. And the other book is a small, compact Korean Tanakh, just the Hebrew. It's just a Hebrew Bible of the Old Testament. In case I want to read in Hebrew, those are the only books that I didn't show you in this video because they're not in my home right now. And I wasn't going to my car. I could have, wasn't finna do all that. So that's the tour, and that's all I have right now. I don't know how many books I have. I keep buying books, so I lost count. I know it's over 150. We're going on about 200. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the official count soon, and I don't even know if that matters, but that's it, y'all. Peace be to the saints. I'm out of here.